Oh, give me a second.
Okay, wonderful. Okay. Hi everybody, I'm Lydia. What a follow-up? Dang, I should have gone first. But I think I've had most everyone in class, but I unintentionally entered the university as an undecided major. I would caution every high school student that it really does actually matter what you click on the application. You can't just decide that that might be the best fit. So I clicked pre-law, wasn't actually a major, it's a minor. So that led me to begrudgingly have to go to the major fair I did not want to go. I was like, I know I want to do law, why am I here right now? But then I came across Tripp with his little sign that said 3+2 JD philosophy program, which was truly probably divine intervention because that program was why I decided to enter the university. I had only applied to schools that had shortened programs because I knew for sure I wanted to do law. And I also knew for sure that I couldn't afford 7 years of school. So, I don't know, coming across that sign was really crazy, set me on my path for sure. So, through the core and philosophy program, I was able to accomplish my lifelong goal, and so I will be attending law school here next fall, but I'll get to that later. As I said, I entered in the core program. Once again, a stroke of luck. I promise I am an intentional person, but apparently high school me was not. Because on the application, a little box popped up that said, do you want to live in the integrated living and learning community? And I was like, well, sure. So that led me to core. But that whim was such a blessing in disguise. It set me on such a good path for philosophy. But my first ever philosophy class was Professor Edmund's Information Ethics. What a good first class. Once I got in there, I knew for sure that I had chosen like the major for me. I loved everything about that class, so thank you very much. And then it felt that I had jumped from freshman year to senior year, because in a way I had, because maybe I'm a junior right now, I'll get to that later, but such a big jump. Last fall's classes were extremely challenging. I had a seminar, Expert Knowledge and Populism. I was so out of my game. I did not understand that it was going to be that hard, but we had such a good group of students, so even though it was challenging, they all got me through it. Not to pick a favorite, but I will. My absolute favorite class that I've ever had on campus, much like Eleanor, was Professor Cox's social philosophy. So good all around. You were so passionate. You kept me so engaged. It helped that I was interested in every aspect of the class, but likewise, I was able to write my favorite paper I've ever written in college on the rise of misogyny and far-right extremism. I was so excited to research and craft the entire paper. Your comments, I don't know, your belief in me throughout that entire paper made me feel really good. So thank you so much. Also, must give a shout out, he's not here, but Symbolic Logic with Professor Bauer. Probably the only reason I passed the LSAT, so that was wonderful. This semester, to pick a favorite again, I must pick advanced topics in business and AI. Combine two things I know absolutely nothing about, and I am probably not that interested in, and put them in a class, but truly just the group that we have, it's wonderful. Your passion just really keeps us going every day. And I was also able to write a paper, it's due tonight, have to finish that, on technological mediation and the erosion of human intelligence. Ooh. This paper was a big struggle for me. When I got to page 21, I exhaled the biggest sigh. It was a test of perseverance, maybe from outside factors, the senior thing coming in, and the vigor of the paper, but getting through that paper was probably my proudest academic moment. So my favorite philosopher is Immanuel Kant and his deontology. I enjoyed learning about philosophical conceptualizations of how one ought to act and treat other people, because justice and respect are just two really important values to me. His ethical framework was my favorite in comparison to virtue ethics or utilitarianism. In particular, his second categorical imperative, to act as though to treat humanity, whether in yourself or in others, always as an end and never as a means. It guides how I treat other people and also how I feel people ought to treat me and what kind of behavior I feel I should let into my life. My second favorite philosopher I learned about this semester, Martin Heidegger. I learned about him in metaphysics, and I talked about him in my technological mediation paper. I really enjoyed his framework on being human. I think maybe a lot of philosophers spend a lot of time on what am I? what is my purpose, but no other philosopher gave me quite the outlook that fit into my personal vision other than Heidegger's. His his uniquely human way of being in the world, so beautiful to me. It gave me an outlook on my relationship with the environment and the objects in it. It taught me to be more in the world, and that just being and spending time with other people is valuable no matter what. So outside these, philosophy as a whole has so greatly improved my critical thinking and creativity. I have a lot more confidence in my ability to not get discouraged when I'm struggling with texts or concepts, which will help me so much in law school, I think. Philosophy also has a tendency to get so existential that there are times that I really need to remind myself to come to earth, that I am alive and thinking, like I'm not in some other plane. And so I firmly believe there's no other subject in my future that will be quite as otherworldly as arguing if the whole experience is a dream or my perception is led by an evil demon intent on deceiving me. So, as I said, learning to embrace the struggle with complex topics will help me so much when I get to law school, I think, which I start here next fall. I feel so well prepared to engage with dense readings and difficult topics. All of my philosophy classes have taught me how to find and map out an argument, which once again I think will help me in and outside of law school as hopefully a future attorney. Studying philosophy has pushed me to think more deliberately about what it means to live well. It has increased my concern for justice, responsibility, ethics, morality, and accountability. I like to believe that my philosophy classes have helped me to become a more intentional person, someone who reflects on right action and tries to live by a set of standards. This foundation will hopefully set me up for success in the legal field. I hope to use philosophy to approach every case and all of law with a strong moral awareness, to reason carefully, apply multiple perspectives, and advocate for fairness and justice, to meaningfully contribute to a more just society, especially right now and for the future generations after us. I want to give all of you just the biggest thanks. I could not have done it without any of you, but Dr. Glazer, you are owed just the biggest thanks. Your help and guidance, meeting after meeting, immense coordination, frantic emails when scheduling didn't go well, a couple of unfortunate tears in your office, recommendation letters, and all around your unwavering support made this all so possible. I know how busy you are. I also want you to know that when I told you I got into law school and you said you never had a doubt, I believed it more than anyone else, and that just made me feel so wonderful, so thank you. I genuinely would not be graduating or attending law school if it was not for any of you guys, so I'm so lucky to have had you all. Thank you, that is probably all.